Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're re-embarking on an epic journey through time to explore one of the most magnificent structures ever built by human hands, the Great Wall of China. What comes to mind when you think of the Great Wall? A single, continuous stone dragon snaking across mountains. The truth is, it's so much more complex and fascinating than that. It's not one wall, but a massive network of walls, fortresses, and watchtowers built over centuries by many different dynasties. So, grab your virtual passport, because we're about to uncover the incredible story of this architectural marvel. Our story doesn't begin with a single grand design, but with scattered seeds of defense. Way back in the 7th century BC, during a period known as the Spring and Autumn period, China was not a unified country. It was a collection of rival states, all vying for power and territory, to protect themselves from each other and from nomadic tribes to the north. These states started building walls. They used a technique called rammed earth, where they would pound layers of soil and gravel between wooden frames until it was as hard as rock. These early walls were effective but separate, like individual links in a chain that hadn't been connected yet. Everything changed in 221 BC. A powerful leader, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of the Qin dynasty, conquered all the warring states and unified China for the first time. He was a visionary, but also famously ruthless. To consolidate his new empire and protect it from the Zhongnu nomads in the north, he ordered the connection and extension of the existing state walls. This was the first attempt at creating a Great Wall. Imagine the sheer scale of this project. Hundreds of thousands of workers, including soldiers, convicts, and ordinary citizens, were conscripted. The conditions were brutal, and the work was perilous, earning the wall its early, tragic nickname, the longest cemetery on earth. While much of the Qin Wall has since eroded, its conceptual foundation laid the groundwork for everything that followed. After the short-lived Qin dynasty, the Han dynasty took over, ruling for over 400 years. The Han emperors faced the same northern threat from the Zhongnu, so they didn't just maintain the wall. They expanded it dramatically. They extended the wall further west into the desert, creating the Hexi Corridor. This wasn't just about defense anymore. It was about control and commerce. These new sections protected the vital trade routes that would become the famous Silk Road, ensuring that precious goods, like silk and spices, could travel safely between China and the West. The Han dynasty also perfected the watchtower system, creating a sophisticated communication network. Using smoke signals by day and fire by night, messages could be relayed across vast distances in just a few hours. Following the Han dynasty, China experienced periods of division and reunification. Several dynasties, like the Northern Qi and the Sui, repaired and added to the wall. But it wasn't until the Ming dynasty, from 1368 to 1644, that the Great Wall truly took the iconic form we recognize today. After driving out the Mongol rulers of the Yuan dynasty, the Ming emperors were obsessed with preventing another northern invasion. They embarked on the largest and most ambitious wall-building project in history. This is when the construction techniques were perfected. Instead of just rammed earth, the Ming builders used millions of locally quarried stones and newly developed kiln-fired bricks, held together with a surprisingly strong mortar made from sticky rice flour and lime. The Ming Wall was an integrated military defense system. It featured massive forts at key passes, like the famous Shanghai Pass, known as the First Pass Under Heaven, and Jizhu Pass, the westernmost fortress. Along its length were densely packed watchtowers, each within sight of the next, housing troops, storing supplies, and serving as signal stations. It was a formidable barrier, stretching for thousands of kilometers, a testament to the Ming dynasty's determination and engineering prowess. The wall we see and walk on today is almost entirely the work of the Ming builders. It's their legacy that has become a global symbol of China's strength and endurance. So, if the wall was so incredible, how did the Ming dynasty fall? Ironically, the wall wasn't breached by a massive frontal assault. In 1644, a combination of internal rebellion and political turmoil weakened the Ming government. A key Ming general, Wu Sangui, feeling betrayed by the rebel forces who had taken Beijing, made a fateful decision. He opened the gates at Shanghai Pass and allowed the Manchu armies from the north to pour through. The Manchus, who had been a persistent threat, seized the opportunity, swept into Beijing, and established the Qing dynasty. The Great Wall had been bypassed not by force, but by human choice. Under the Qing dynasty, the Great Wall's military significance faded. The empire had expanded far beyond the wall's boundaries, incorporating Mongolia and other northern territories. So the wall was no longer a frontier defense. It was left to the elements, slowly falling into disrepair, a silent monument to a bygone era. For centuries, it was largely neglected, with local villagers even taking bricks to build their own homes. It wasn't until the 20th century that the Great Wall was reborn, this time as a powerful national symbol. After periods of foreign invasion and internal conflict, the Chinese people looked to the wall as an emblem of their nation's resilience and enduring spirit. Restoration efforts began, and it was transformed from a military defense line into a treasured cultural heritage site. In 1987, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, cementing its status as a wonder of the world, belonging not just to China, but to all of humanity. Today, the Great Wall of China stands as a profound symbol. It is a reminder of the immense costs of conflict, but also of the incredible achievements possible through human cooperation and perseverance. It represents a history of division and unification, of cultural exchange and isolation. It's not just a wall of stone and earth. It's a wall built of stories, struggles, and the enduring spirit of a civilization. It teaches us that the greatest structures are not just physical, but are also the cultural and historical legacies they leave behind. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey along the Great Wall. I hope you found its history as fascinating as I do. What part of its story surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.